Hello everyone and welcome to Golden Nova's First Reacts, where I react first to all the things you want to see reacted to first, as long as you come to me to react to things first. The last crossover breakers archetype has finally been revealed, and really anything is possible. We've gone from the bog standard rank 4 strategy of Raysol to the absolutely outrageous fake dragon quadruple upple of the Apodricosises. Now we have a whole theme based on Alice in Wonderland crossed with cybersecurity. There's only one way to find out how that all meshes together, and that's by scrolling down and looking at Malice Pawn White Rabbit, a level 3 Dark Cybers monster with 1200 attack and 300 defense. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can set a Malice trap card directly from your deck with a different name from the cards in your graveyard. You take no battle damage from battles involving Malice Link monsters that point to this card, and if this card becomes banished, you can pay 300 life points. Special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except Link monsters. Oh no, we're limited to Link monsters. Dang. That just ruins the whole playstyle. Malice Pawn Cheshire Cat. Level 3 Dark Cybers, 1500 attack, 300 defense. You can only use the first and third effects of this card once per turn. During your main phase, you can banish a Malice card from your hand to draw 2 cards. Ooh, that pairs well with White Rabbit, so you can special summon it out for free. Or free, pay 300 life points. That's basically free. And it draws you 2. Second effect, monsters destroyed by battle with a Malice Link monster that points to this card are banished instead of being sent to the graveyard. And if this card becomes banished, you can pay 300 life points to special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except Link monsters. So that is a constant among these, at least main deck monsters. They get banished, you get to bring it back by paying a pittance. A pittance, I say. 300 life points is nothing. Third is Malice Pawn Dormouse, level 3 Dark Cybers at 900 attack, 300 defense. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can banish a Malice monster from your deck. Also, all Malice monsters you control will gain 600 attack for the rest of this turn. Okay, so this is basically a 1500 attack monster masquerading as a 900 one. And the boost seems to go to just all Malice monsters, so even ones that you summon after this effect goes off, and you banish from deck, so you get to trigger any of the other 2 monsters. That's bonkers. Malice Link monsters that point to this card cannot be destroyed by card effects, also fantastic. If this card becomes banished, you can pay 300 life points to special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Link monsters. Okay, so it's just the same floating effect. Really good core of monsters starting out here. I feel like they have, not on summon effects, but we have White Rabbit that has an on summon effect. We have an effect that banishes from both Cheshire Cat and Dormouse, and they all do pretty relevant things, so that's pretty nifty. And now, Link monster time. Malice Queen Red Ransom, Link 3 Dark Cybers, 2300 attack, left, bottom, and right. Requires 2+ monsters, including a Malice monster. So the classic, you can use any Link 2 you want as long as one monster is a Malice. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add a Malice spell card from your deck to your hand. 2. The original attack and defense of all effect monsters your opponent controls are swapped, while this card points to any monster. Okay. If this card becomes banished, you can pay 900 life points to special summon it. Then you can banish a Cybers monster from your deck. Okay, so it appears that our Link monsters also can come back from the banished zone. And this starts us up with another one of our main deck monsters' effects, because we're just going to banish them. Sick. Okay, next is Malice Queen Hearts of Cryptor. Link 3 Dark Cybers. This one has the Decode Talker arrows. 2500 attack. Now this one requires 3 monsters. You can't cheat it with a Link 2. It has to have 3, including a Malice. You can only use this card's first and second effect once per turn. First effect, quick effect. You can target one of your banished Malice cards, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, banish a card on the field. This effect and its activation cannot be negated if this card points to a monster. Ooh, boy. That's not exactly spell speed 4, but the effect is going through. Okay. Okay. I dig. And then the last effect, it becomes banished, pay 900 life points, a special summon, and if you do, its attack becomes doubled. Not until the end phase, it just gets doubled. So it comes back as a 5,000 attack monster. It becomes more difficult to point to something at that point, though you could just put it under one of your EMZs, and then I guess you could co-link it with Red Ransom. That's not terrible. Alright, Malice in Underground, field spell card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. When this card resolves, you can banish a Malice card from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You know, it might as well search you a card with how the deck functions. 2. Malice Link monsters you control gain 3,000 attack while you have 3 or more banished Malice trap cards with different names. Okay, that might be a bit more difficult to resolve. Maybe. We'll see. 3,000 boost for all of them? Only Link monsters, though. Still, 3,000 for any... Jesus. If you control any Malice Link monster, your opponent's monsters can only target them for attack. So that keeps our smaller ones safe, which is good because our Link monsters have pretty decent attack. The lowest is like 2,300 with Red Ransom, and that's not counting any 3,000 boosts from the field spell, and it's not counting Cryptor's attack doubling effect, which I feel is a lot easier to fulfill. Alright, Malice code MTP07. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can activate this card the turn it was set by banishing a face-up Malice monster that you control. Oh, the horror, the theme that wants to have its monsters banished. You have to banish its cost to play this card quicker? No way. Add one Malice monster from your deck to your hand. Then if you control a Malice Link monster, you can banish a card on the field. So, it's a Malice Searcher. If we developed our board enough, it's also a removal spell, so it's a +1. By getting rid of any card on the field, it doesn't matter whose, and it doesn't target, and it becomes like even if you banished a Malice to activate the card. MTP stands for Mad Tea Party. 07 refers to Chapter 7, a Mad Tea Party. The monster with Dormouse is Mad Hacker from Battles of Chaos. Oh, we're roping in some older monsters. Let's see. Put that on the back burner. We'll check that out in a second. Malice code GWC06. That is Cheshire. Cheshire's doing the Anya face. Incredible. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can also activate it the turn it's set by banishing a face-up Malice monster you control. You special summon a Malice monster from your graveyard or banishment. Okay. Then if you control a Malice Link monster, gain life points equal to the summoned monster's original attack. That's not terrible, especially with all the banishing going on. Being able to summon from any of the dead zones seems pretty good. GWC stands for Grin Without a Cat, equipped by Alice in the novel. 6 refers to Chapter 6, Pig and Pepper, the chapter that the clip is from. Okay. Malice code TB11 Nova. You know what numbers are. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can activate this card turn it was set by banishing a face-up Malice monster you control. Special summon a Malice monster from your deck, or if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can special summon a Malice Link monster from your extra deck instead. The summoned monster cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. TB probably means Twinkling begins with a T, or 3 blasts. A line from Chapter 11 of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Who Stole the Tarts? It might also be referencing Through the Looking Glass with White Pawn Alice to play and win in 11 moves, and move 9. Okay, I don't know any of those references because I didn't read the actual book. So I'm glad this is here to help flesh this out. So what does this theme do? Well, it already has a strong backing in all of the Cyberse support that has existed since time memorial, ever since we entered the Vrains era. One of these searched a spell card, right? Yeah, Red Ransom. So we make Red Ransom to get the field spell. That's the only spell card that we have right now. White Rabbit gets us the trap cards that we have been talking about at the end of the video so far, and we can actually activate any of them immediately because we can just banish White Rabbit to activate them. We can summon it back immediately by using its own effect, but we won't get another free search if we use this search this turn. This might be more useful if we banish it under another effect, but it does give us the option to play any of the trap cards. If anything, we can go White Rabbit, set TB, and then if our opponent has enough cards, we banish the White Rabbit, and that immediately gets us Cryptor, which is a way easier way to make this as opposed to actually folding 3 monsters together. The downside is that if we cheat out any of the Link monsters using that trap card, they won't be able to resummon themselves because they weren't properly summoned in the first place. So it might just be better to use this as a card to pivot between our main deck monsters, and then maybe we also summon our Link monsters just in case. If anything, it means that we have a Malice Link monster to get the bonus effects of our other trap cards. GWC is nice. It's Revival is good in general, but the fact that you have to wait a turn... Oh, you know what? I should probably not say anything, because you don't have to wait a turn. The whole point is that you're banishing your Malices to use them immediately, so these trap cards are not as slow as they normally would be. MTP is fantastic. It's a search, and then it's also removal if you develop your board enough. The field spell is nifty. It gets things started by banishing, so you can get that monster summoned back onto the field, get their effect on board. How do we banish the trap cards is my question. Because we banish face-up Malice monsters to use these quicker. And none of these ask us to... I guess we do have some, right? Dormouse banishes a Malice. Now that banishes from a monster from the deck. Cheshire Cat banishes Malice cards from hand. That being said, though, those are the in-theme mechanics for how that would happen. We all know what's actually going to happen. We have found another Shifter deck. Because all of the mechanics revolve around the cards being banished, you don't actually have to stop your turn when Shifter gets dropped out of the hand. Heck, you might want to do that yourself so that you can stop your opponent from playing, and then you benefit. Instead of going to the graveyard, your cards go to banishment by default, and you get to trigger all of their effects. And if you can get the trap cards in the banishment while that's active, great, cool. Get Shifter online, get Macrocosmos online, any of that stuff. Wow, this is... If there's not a hit to Shifter by the time this comes out, that is going to be... It's going to continue to be annoying. I was going to say it's about to be the most annoying card ever. It already is the most annoying card ever. People are just playing it willy-nilly just to stop people from playing, even if it hurts your own deck because of how powerful turn skips can be if you're not trying to do some giant convoluted combo to get to them. I'm looking at you. I guess the Secret of the 6-1 for the Samurais of Secrets. I don't know. The point is, this deck has the potential to be super annoying. Level 3 Dark Cyberse, I'm not sure if that is a... The Cyberse one is, of course, a relevant stat line. You have Signet Mining to search out any of these that you want, but you can't E-Telly these because they're not psychics, and they're not fiends, so you can't tour guide them out. I feel like there's something that I'm missing as far as non-engine goes that can be used with this deck. So I guess at this point I leave it off to all of you. I think the deck is going to be a fairly powerful one. It has a lot of the cards connect with each other. They kind of flow, which is what a good modern deck should do. It's kind of like how Snake Eyes, almost every Snake Eye card represents the entire theme. It feels like the Malice theme also, any singular card represents the entirety of them. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works in practice, but I'm not super up to date on Cyberse strategies. So folks who are linked into the Vrains, Let me know down below, what are some other tech cards that can be used with Malice? Is there anything about these that I'm overlooking? Is there some kind of tech pick or strategy that I have not identified that they'll be very good at accomplishing? Or have I correctly identified that this will be the next in a long line of decks that will want to activate Shifter during the draw phase and watch the life drain from the opponent's eyes? Thank you all so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing how Crossover Breakers does once it finally gets released, and I'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye.
Today's episode is brought to you by my lovely patrons, as well as the wonderful people over at Dragon Shield. Get the sleeves as strong as dragon scales and save 5% on your order by using the coupon code GoldenNova at checkout. And speaking of those lovely patrons, I'd like to give them a thanks right now. This month's Quasar Commander is Upstairs Media, Nebula Navigators are 3rd Dynasty, 50 Gigabits, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Owexatowe Hime, Anansi Dragon, Ancient Wizard, Andrew Newman, Kane Senpai, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Comrade Copperbottom, Emily Chan, Eric, Frankie, Garland Chaos, Green Knight, Gloomba 331, Great Big Pillock, Groog, Hairbear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Howling Zangetsu, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Carp, Leo 458, Mana Charge, Marion James E. Picata, Megacombi, Millennia Asta, Mern, Nathan Vig, Natiel Lee Alexander, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Rebel King Lucifer, Red Eyes Jackalow, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sammy Haim, Serenity Towns, Skybuster Leo, The Critic of Innocence, Thievery Coast and the Wizard Moose, Cosmic Crusaders Ariel Kersey, Baron von Titty Sprinkles, Beelzephyr, Beluga Master, Blitzwolf, Borger with a Shotgun, Chaz Ghost, Childish Lamar, Dr. Reaper R.I.P., Drachenwald, Eki Bullock, Eva Padilla, Hike Boyagian, Herbal D, Ignis Heath the True Draco Slayer, Inblink, Kale the Dragon, Kevon Public, Lobomaru 02, Manga Pages, Marluxia's a Girl, Matt Simmons, McSpoofy, Michael Shimabukuro, Night Trummo, Nyx, Obsidian, Shizuka Nijimura, Sophie, apparently, Stephen Williamson, Taylor Seymour, The Legendary Raven, The Phantom Knights of Shitted Pants, The Pokemon 52, Tiger X2476, Visor KG, Zeldreka and Zalus, as well as the wonderful Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you liked what you saw and want to help me in my journey to cover all of Yu-Gi-Oh's archetypes, get my videos early, be a part of these credits, and other awesome perks, it would mean the world to me if you would check out the links to my Patreon in the description or consider joining as a YouTube member.